So Sakura, Byakuya, and I rushed out to the physics lab.
You can't just leave a crime scene like
As
that.
soon as we were out of the physics lab. Celeste, aren't you supposed to be waiting in the nurse's office? Something has come up.
Yeah, I heard Fumi is dead, right?
Well, that's not all. It is gone. What's gone? It has disappeared? Fumi's body has disappeared.
That is why you do not leave the crime scene. What are you talking about? It disappeared? Don't be ridiculous.
Come on.
Are you serious?
What?
What the heck is happening here? Everyone back to the nurse's office.
Wait, but don't leave the...
Now Taka's body's gonna disappear.
These
Nearly
guys...
losing my balance. We up to the nurse's office completely out of breath. So the body's... But she waited in the nurse's office with Hina, unless she was like, oh, Hina doesn't need to be standing in this room if she's gonna...
Unless they
Go
went
back to
somewhere.
normal.
Maybe they went to the cafeteria to eat
Probably.
donuts.
Couldn't
And
believe
she
my
drank-
eyes.
And she drank tea.
Yeah.
Fuma's body was there a few minutes earlier, but now it's gone.
It just disappeared?
Went to the bathroom. We were gone for only like a minute. When we got back,
Indeed.
This must be the work of the culprit. They must have come and carried the body away. That is one heavy body to just carry away in less than a minute.
I've been really enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused.
It's Hiro. Or Kyoko.
Do you think they can pick up the body?
What if it's
Neither-
an accomplice thing?
Neither one of them is strong. We're all going to die here. I mean, Kyoko is strong.
We're going to die just like those guys died.
What did
I don't
you say?
believe this. I don't believe a body would just disappear.
Why?
First, there are 2 murders, and now one of the bodies has been taken. This is unnatural. You made 2 murders? Oh yeah, she doesn't know.
Taka's been killed. We found him in the equipment room.
No way!
Can't be Taka too. It can't be. It can't be.
Hina.
Hina, calm down.
We're all gonna die. All of us. They're gonna kill all of us. We're dead. We're gonna die. Then who might be the next target? Who might the next target be? Toko?
We left Toko on the floor with the dead body of Taka.
She's gonna be gone, but the body's still gonna be there because he mixed up the bodies.
What?
I completely forgot. I completely forget. She still... That's
I
weird.
completely forget.
Forgot.
I completely
It should-
forget.
It should be forgot. I completely forget. She's still unconscious in equipment room.
Well,
You left her at the scene of the crime?
We didn't have a choice. She passed out and she refused to wake up.
huh?
So she's still unconscious and possibly dead now. Wait, no, you can't murder more than 2 people. It's
Right.
fine. So
Well, unless
nothing
the guy,
more.
unless the guy gave up and is murdering everyone, and then he's murdered. I mean, just because you can only murder 2 people doesn't stop him from murdering everyone else if he accepts his own death.
No, because he said if the murderer, the Blackened, were to try to murder past that, that's one of the rules. He'd stop it.
Yeah, but
Monokuma
maybe the
would've
killer's
stopped
trying to be quick enough to kill everyone before it's stopped.
It won't.
Only Monokuma has to be the one who stops it.
She was still up there and said nothing. Why?
That's an annoying little insect that clings to me wherever I go. We'd be better off without her.
You bastard!
Calm down. You forgot about her, didn't you? You have no right to blame me.
Everyone stop fighting right now. We need to hurry back.
Can't take this anymore. I don't want anyone else to die. You
And
think
let's
they would
all
like,
stick together?
well, you think they would like keep people in specific places so that no one can move things around?
Well,
anymore?
okay. At this point, nurse's office, it doesn't matter because there's nobody there.
But it's still,
Legitimately,
it's-
nobody.
it's still a crime scene, though.
So it doesn't matter. We shut out of the nurse's room, bolted upstairs, heading back to the 3rd floor. We ran back to the equipment room at full speed, and when we got there, oh boy, she's still there, but the other
body's missing. Where'd
Hey.
these bodies go?
Let the bodies hit the floor.
They hit the floor and then they moved.
But right away I noticed, yep, Taka's
Taka's
gone.
bodies, it's gone. See, this is what happens when they start messing with things. This can't be happening.
Are we hallucinating all this or something? Look, the only 2 people not here right now are Kyoko and Hiro. We legitimately cannot think of anyone else being to blame. And Although I did suspect Kirigiri of being the one that was the spy.
Because Byakuya mentioned it, now you're convinced that she's not the spy. Oh, because of Byakuya.
No, I'm not saying that she's not, but I also do not think this would have been her opportune moment to strike.
Right.
Because I don't think she's doing it for the money, and I think the person doing it is following because of the motive. So I'm pretty dead set that it's Hiro, and that the Kyoko disappearing is just happenstance.
Right.
But I kind of get the feeling like we're going to get down to everything, and then Hiro's going to pop up and be like, yo, I was asleep the whole time.
Sorry, man. Bathroom.
Wicked, had to go. Because, I mean,
Ghosts.
it's soundproof. You wouldn't hear everyone yelling.
Ghosts.
I know I saw it before, and what I'm seeing now isn't what I saw before. The body is gone.
What are you saying? Taka disappeared too?
Stop talking.
Stop saying disappeared. Didn't just vanish into thin air, obviously. Whoever did this has hidden away the body.
Why would they do that?
I couldn't possibly begin to imagine.
Yeah,
Says the guy who moved Chihiro to a different bathroom and set that up. Couldn't
Yeah, but
possibly begin to imagine.
He put it in a new position to cause confusion.
Well, this is clearly causing confusion.
Although it is completely disposing of the bodies so that we can't find them, I don't think that's Byakuya's style.
Right.
He'd want to cause confusion, make things interesting. Although hiding the bodies away does make it interesting.
The way he's acting right now, I don't believe he did it.
Oh no, Byakuya's not behind it just because I'm pretty sure it's Hiro. Costume suspect is clearly continuing his crime spree.
Well, hurry, catch him before he kills all of us.
He can't. Monokumo set a rule.
Yeah, but what if that rule doesn't apply to him specifically? I don't think you have to worry about that. Think about it. Who could possibly be responsible for killing and hiding these dead bodies?
Well,
When Hifumi's death cry went up, everyone here was together on the third floor.
it is so.
After that, we split into two groups.
And now this time, you all came here as a group from the nurse's office. In other words, the only one who could have done this is Hiro and Kyoko, who are still missing.
Hold on a second. Kyoko has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. There's no question that she was in the dining hall with us.
Very adamant about defending her. Perhaps you are in love?
That's not it at all.
That's fine.
Well, anyways, yes, I do accept Kyoko's alibi.
Let's
So
see.
that leaves the suspicious individual can only be Hiro.
Which further means there will be no more murders. The regulations are very clear about that.
Oh, that's right. There's a rule where you can only kill a maximum of 2 people.
That's right.
As long as that rule is in place, there will not be a third murder. If they were to break that rule,
I'd mince ya! Mince ya without a second thought! Mince ya, grind ya, turn ya into paste! By the way, did you know that fish paste can also refer to shellfish, like shrimp and crabs? Indeed.
Let's see.
So since 2 people have been killed, there's no possibility of any more. From that one person.
you knew that from the beginning, didn't you, Byakuya? Which means you knew Toko was never in danger. Still meant to when I said we were better off without her, though.
In other words,
Anyway, with that in mind, we can now relax and search for the 2 missing bodies.
And Hiro. Oh, and Kyoko, because she's still somewhere. Their bodies have been hidden. The only one without an alibi, the only one who could have done it, is Hiro. But is he really the killer? What about Kyoko? She's not involved in this case, but where did she go?
what?
Hey, Makoto, what's the matter?
It's nothing.
Whatever, we need to find those bodies, so our little narrative here can't move forward.
So then,
Very well, then let's split up and begin searching.
but
There's no need to be afraid. No more murders will take place during this case. Unless it's by someone else.
cause
I know that, I think I do, but...
If you're still nervous, I'll come with you.
huh?
Okay, thank you. No need to thank me. It's just, common courtesy.
Let's get moving.
When you
Yell
find
out
a
if you
corpse,
find
you go with
anything.
someone who's scared. Left the equipment room, followed by the others. I have to try and find the 2 missing bodies.
Now, where could they be? That's the
I'm
question.
checking the incinerator room.
That's a weird place for a body. I mean, who was on trash duty? That was still Hifumi.
No, it's been a week since then. It changes weekly.
Doesn't even matter anymore.
Assuming that's how... Oh no, don't be the art room. Okay.
What
I
about
was gonna say, I half expected it to be like posed like a statue.
Well, what about the art supply room?
Huh?
I'm gonna check there to see if the hammers are missing.
Where could 2 dead bodies have gone off to?
Damn.
We need to search for the bodies that just figured what happens after that. I am... Ah, the door must be locked.
How do you lock a door from the outside?
I don't know. But if it is locked, either A, hero's inside, or B, we're gonna find out that is definitely where the hammers came from. They're all mallets.
They're all mallets.
Sculpting mallets.
Each one's bigger than the last.
Yep. Which is how it looked like when we saw it on the shelf. I don't think it would be in the rec room, but we're checking anyway.
Well, the hammer's still there at least.
Yeah, mallet number 1's still here. She was really attacked with this Justice Hammer 1, but what the heck is with this thing?
What the heck is it? Okay, so where could a dead body be? That's the
I'm
question.
pretty sure. I don't know why I'm.
It's in the classrooms.
Yes, it's in the classrooms.
They're each at a desk.
No, the classrooms are a little too small, unfortunately, so I don't think those rooms are ever going to be plot relevant. But Makoto,
Come on.
Why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository.
you mean?
Indeed.
Ah, she found them. Fumi and Taka's body have been both headed in the repository. Told
Hina and Sakura will go on ahead to the
in the repository.
What's the repository?
I forget.
Repository. Second floor?
That might be the second floor.
Oh, you can always check your map. Where's the repository? Physics lab, equipment room. Why is Toko by herself in it? Well, I guess
She's still passed out. Okay, it's right there.
That's where everyone
else is in the... Oh, okay, repository. The one room
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
the room that was
locked
locked.
off just right now.
Duh.
So we went straight to it, and the game was just like, well, I kind of want you to go back out into the hallway.
Well, it could have been unlocked. You know. Time might have passed.
And they unlocked it.
Well, someone might have unlocked it.
They were just like, why is it locked? I'm lockpicking it.
The lock-
Or maybe they ran into the locked door too, and they were just like, yeah, it's got to be back there.
Our body's here somewhere. Well, let's talk to Byakuya about it. I have to wonder where they could have been hidden. In the repository? Up ahead is the repository.
I guess it's unlocked now.
I have no choice but to go inside.
And when I entered, I saw both the bodies. Now in mutilated fashion. Oh, no.
No,
They've just been moved.
they've been moved.
And the tarps are on the floor.
No, not the tarp. The completely ordinary tarp.
What I saw before my eye was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality.
It's a weird way for those hammers to be sitting, I'll be honest.
See, and yeah, the hammers are missing, so...
But they're missing out of
obviously-
order.
Yeah. It just wasn't increasing size. That's it. That doesn't bother me at all.
Then I heard the announcement for a second time.
A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
So is the class trial going to be over both bodies, or are there 2 separate trials for each body? Because, I mean, if it was the same murderer for both of them, then it would have been like, oh, by the way, yo, the person's already dead that we're putting on trial for the second trial.
Well,
But this makes
This
it
is
sound like
set
there's
up-
2 separate trials.
no, it's the same trial. It's just the system set up that it only goes off when 3 people discover a dead body, regardless of what trial you're on.
Yeah, but Byakuya, Toko, and Sakura,
Well, does Toko count? She was unconscious.
she was unconscious, but she did witness the body. But beyond that, Makoto also walked into the room, and we all 3 knew about the dead body.
So here we are. Without further ado, here's the Monokuma file. Well, regardless, we're starting the trial now. So.
Right.
Investigation. Found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen. It's really hard to resist, but turns out I was right.
Stop talking.
Hand it over already.
Punishment is
Now
waiting for
make
you.
sure to investigate with all your mental might and prepare for the class trial.
See ya later.
So both bodies have been moved here. Well, at least it's convenient now.
I mean, yeah.
You don't have to keep going from room to room just to investigate. Well, found the bodies. That's all that's left to do is investigate. How can you be so calm? Also, Kyoko's still missing.
Kyoko's still missing. Hiro's the only obvious one.
I mean, they're dead, you know? Dead. Gone forever. They're never coming back.
I mean, unless Kyoko killed one of them and Hiro killed the other, but Kyoko was...
I think we're going under the
Preoccupied.
assumption that it's under the same trial.
Yeah. So it's obviously Hiro then. There's no other possibility. Everyone was accounted for.
It's just too awful.
She burst into tears, clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body.
Who would
Who
do
would-
this? Why? Why?
Large, wet tears fell from her eyes. Tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. This was some world of make-believe that might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes. But it wasn't a movie. This wasn't...
He's alive again?
Where am I?
Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Is that a Game of Thrones reference?
Hifumi, wake up!
Huh? Ah, that's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
I remember everything. Before I met you all. I met you all.
His
His memories are blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The
Ah.
light. It's reaching out to me like the tail of a comet.
Of course he'd have a dramatic death scene.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you?
A guy in a giant robot suit.
Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasu.
Yasuhiro. His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute undeniable death.
A body has been discovered.
Yeah! No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again.
This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now the game's become exceedingly boring.
He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hakagure. It's the only person he could have been referring to.
So, in other
And
words,
with that, the case is solved.
Assaulting people, even killing Taka and Hifumi, and then going so far to hide the body. Criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is?
What is this?
That's true, I can't forgive him. No way can I ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends.
that's fine.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although this time, it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's gonna begin again. I have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this to make sure everyone survives. Just have to do it.
Investigation. We're gonna still hold an investigation.
I better check the Monokuma file. Victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it?
Very strange.
Yep, it's very strange. We got way less information this time than before.
But there's no problem. After all the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could anyway.
Maybe.
Well,
Something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. You talking about Kyoko?
Perhaps.
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. What if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma
Don't be rude. I'm here to answer your question. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? Pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I, during the first class trial?
speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So Kyoko wouldn't be an accomplice because she would legitimately get nothing from it.
Precisely.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
Oh, here's Mondo.
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it. You'll just die. So are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
hey,
Sorry, I can't answer that. It would be obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just wanted to make sure you didn't forget. No matter how much you might assist in a murder, only one blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
So in other words,
And we need only to figure out who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal.
well,
Okay, let me make this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. True blackened, so just one person.
well now.
It's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Good luck to all the contestants.
So my question is, if someone becomes an accomplice, but then during the trial make sure that that person is found guilty, do they just keep going in their normal life then, despite everything?
Well, what it
They're not
could...
murdered, right?
The
They get, if they don't get to graduate with the blackened, does that also mean they don't get executed with the blackened? So there can only be one blackened, an accomplice. Wouldn't benefit.
What's confusing to me is the fact that he said the one true blackened, which is the one who, but the way he put it was the one who devised the murder. So like there could have been one true murderer, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they killed the person, you know?
Right.
The way that he put it was like if the person came up with a plan but got an accomplice to actually carry out the plan.
Well, he kind of worded it strangely. I don't think that's where you're supposed to get out of it.
Okay. So there can only be one black and an accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can't see any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all.
You may be right. That's true then. Kyoko, where are you?
However,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
indeed.
No doubt the hero is
How
responsible.
have we been up and down with all floors and not seen a glimpse of
Exactly. That's what's weird, unless Hero's holding her hostage, but then again, if he did anything, he'd die too.
her? Right, but maybe he's trying to keep one of the more prominent people who are known for their ineptitude. Well, not ineptitude, but their, one of the few
Investigation
people,
skills.
one of the few people who are prominent during the class trials, keep her away from the investigation, perhaps.
It's possible,
But then she'd know
once again,
he's guilty because he's
one,
holding her.
she knows he's guilty. Two, everyone else already figured it out. Because
Right.
they are the only two missing.
Can't hurt to pursue further information. So let's hold out an investigation as if we don't already know who's guilty. Don't you think we should consider a certain someone as a suspect, just in case? Talking about the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack.
I'm offended.
When did she get here?
I don't know.
Yeah! When did you...
I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl.
Milk sack.
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer after all.
So what? I'm like a special guest suspect every time. I have an alibi, you know.
She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. When the body disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Exactly. Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
Not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing
You
again.
should have done that in the first place.
So then,
Hina can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, I'd be totally useless on this investigation anyway.
it's all clear now.
And then that's that. Let's begin. Okay?
The whole thing is so strange. Oh, but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's gonna be as straightforward as it seems.
Monokuma file number 3.
Lovely. Not gonna be as straightforward as it seems.
And also, this might be the first investigation in which we're not being carried around by someone else. Whether it be Kyoko or Byakuya.
True, but also there's not a lot of evidence lying around. Cameras,
You'd be surprised.
bodies.
You'd be surprised. I mean, look at press triangle or whatever. You've got the body. Looks like the kind of rolling thing over there.
Oh yeah, this wasn't even in this room, was it?
The tarp.
The tarp was in the,
The tarp was in the back of the physics room.
Yeah.
You've got a body over there who's not even on the tarp.
So why is this one on the tarp, this one not? I mean, the physics room, that's where we found his body,
Got the
right?
hammers. Yeah, in the back of the physics
So
room.
whoever, when we ran down there,
Wait, so
someone
does that mean
grabbed
if we
his
go
body.
back to the physics room that the tarp will not be there anymore?
Yeah, it shouldn't be there anymore.
Because it's over here.
Because they used it to drag his body this way. But what doesn't make sense about that is he's scrawny. They'd be able to pick him up. They would have needed a tarp for him.
I don't think they would have been able to lift him with the tarp.
I don't know how they lifted him up the stairs. He was on the first floor. This is up on the third.
There's no elevator.
Exactly. They had to carry him up the stairs, which I just don't see as being possible. Unless they did use the tarp to get him up there, and then they swapped it to cause confusion. They're like, oh, we'll throw his body on there to cause confusion.
Yeah. Well, let's do a little bit of investigating.
Unless they
maybe.
use this. The
Dolly.
dolly doesn't have a handle. I guess it used to move statues around. It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. But wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? Look at the wheel. Blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that?
Repository dolly.
Hit in the head with a hammer. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. Justice 4, near his body in the equipment room, is that what was used to kill him? Tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. We already knew he was dead before he moved the body.
Blue tarp. Maybe it was so that you didn't know that he was moved in here.
Maybe. Like if someone came back up the stairs and followed the blood trail and caught him in the act.
Right. Fumi's big, cold, lifeless body. His really big body.
And how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office, where he was discovered, to here, the repository, all the way from the first floor to the third. All without anyone noticing it? How the hell? It's no good, I just don't get it. Unfortunately, the only one who I think could lift him is Sakura. Which is weird, because she's the only one who doesn't seem to be involved, in my opinion, other than Hina.
Can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. That's a close-up of his face I never thought we'd get.
Also a blow to the head, probably from just 3, which was lying on the floor in the nurse's office. Something was off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling something's different? Something about Fumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. He's sweating. Well, his glasses are missing. Oh no.
Not that they're missing, but they're clean.
Someone wiped his glasses off? Who would do that and why? That is weird. Why? That doesn't make any sense. Hammers are missing.
Yeah, that's an important evidence. Different size.
Mallets. They're just been designed using these as a model. Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. Covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait. This one hammer isn't dirty at all and it's wet. Someone wash it recently?
Spotless hammer added to the truth section.
Unless the justice hammers weren't used to kill him. It was the spotless hammer and the justice hammers were used as a decoy?
Well, that would be obvious because the hammers are missing here.
Yeah, they're missing from here to make it look like they were using different justice hammers, but
that doesn't change the murder weapon though. It's
still a hammer, yeah. You're right.
It wouldn't make sense to disguise it as a different thing. It's just a different size. Anyone have anything to say about this?
No, we don't.
Hey, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository.
What is it?
After Hifumi and Taka's body disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
But...
And we came right to the repository to, look around. When we got there, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside.
Accurate.
And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it? Why is it unlocked now?
I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there. But I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. See, that's the thing though. They went straight there. Right. So, like, either A, both bodies were already in there, or B, someone would have had to pass everyone who was searching around the 3rd floor to put the bodies in there and then leave before leaving it unlocked.
Right.
There are many aspects to the incident this time, too many to be honest, considering that it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then,
would you like my help to look back at everything that's happened? Do we want to recap?
Sure.
Let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, Gyu, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search, and soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her. Meaning, just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo Justice. It also became clear that this Robo Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office,
Shadow at the top of the stairs.
based on Celeste's claim, we went back up to the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. Then right after that, Celeste screamed. This time, she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. And then... At that point, we decided to split up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect on the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also what we heard. Which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
However,
But at the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's body were discovered around the same time.
Yes.
Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body has disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone. Then we remembered who had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment. Can't be. This time, Taka's body had disappeared. So from there, we began our search for both of the missing bodies. And after some time, Celeste told us she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository. And there we rediscovered the two bodies that had apparently vanished.
So the one thing in common with almost all of that is Celeste.
And that brings us
But
up
she
to
also has an alibi, especially when Hifumi's body disappeared. Because she went to the bathroom with Hina.
Right. Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime. So whenever we need a quick preview of what's happened, we could just talk to her during this case.
Do you think Hiro really did it?
I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he had died,
He said Hiro's name.
Hiro's name.
So, in other words,
And there's no room to suspect anyone else.
Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume?
Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see.
Yeah, he kind of is. I mean, he is kind of dumb. Do you think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
what?
Is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case?
No, there's a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? I figured it wouldn't...
We couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation.
So if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Especially since they unlocked the room. They could have just kept it locked. Also, who the fuck has the keys to this room?
It might be one of those cases where there's a lock on the door.
I mean, possibly.
If you could pick a lock, you could pick a lock to lock it. Maybe you pick the lock.
Possibly.
You know, like that trick where you take like a butter knife and just turn the...
Yeah,
I doubt this game has the
They used a mallet.
yeah, yeah. Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron.
Is that really all there is to it?